Hello and welcome to Culture Shocked, the pop culture podcast brought to you by four aging millennials and our outdated opinions. I'm your host, Doug. Oh, wait. No, that's not right. I'm your host, Mike. Right. Okay. And with me, as always, is.
Hey, I'm Adrian. And kids, I want to tell you a story. The story of how I met my friends.
Corey doesn't share food.
Hi, I'm Doug. I make jokes when I'm uncomfortable.
If you haven't guessed it by their opening lines, we will be discussing the hit sitcoms Friends and How I Met Your Mother, and their differences, their similarities, and ultimately which one is better. So why don't you come down to McLaren's with us and have a couple of beers? Could you be any more excited? Okay, so before we get started, first and foremost, I would like to dedicate this episode to the one and only Bob Saget. May he rest in peace.
Yes, sir.
America's dad, Danny Tanner.
Absolutely. The man that sounded nothing like Josh Radnor.
Or looked or acted.
It's so wild. I love that there was an interview that Bob Saget did with Josh Radnor, and Bob Saget asked him, he's like, were you ever bothered by the fact that they had somebody else come in and be the narrator and it wasn't you?
What did Josh Radnor say?
He was like, he's like, well, you know, I'm at the age now where I should have been when you were narrating the show. And yeah, I sound the same. I guess they told Josh Radnor that he sounded too young to be able to narrate the story.
To pull off the older Ted.
Yeah.
Maybe at the time that's true.
The voice doesn't really change when you're older like that.
Not a lot.
Maybe a Carter Bays and Craig Thomas just figured, like, once you turn 40, you sound like Bob Saget.
Maybe they thought Ted would smoke a pack of Newports a day and really get his voice down there, you know?
It's like he's Jason Segel.
Hello, kids. That sounded creepy.
This is how I met your mother.
We're definitely keeping that in there.
All right, so I'm going to kind of ask this of both shows. Like, I'm just a two-part single question.
So what's your first question about?
Canada.
So I'm going to ask this of both shows. If you could go to Central Perk or McLaren's with any character from Friends or How I Met Your Mother, which character would it be and why?
Well, I'm going anywhere with Chandler every time. And I really don't go to bars, so probably the coffee shop with Chandler, as boring of an answer as that is. I just think we'd have a good back and forth with our quips. And, you know, like I said, I don't go to bars, but I do like scones. So I'm probably going to check out the coffee house.
And scones are good, yeah.
I don't want her taking my order, but if I can talk to Bryce from all my children, I'll be fine.
Yeah. Who's FICA and why are they taking all my money?
God damn it.
Yeah, so I guess I'll go up next. Chandler's obviously an easy answer. I am one of two of our members who are in the single category. So I would be tempted to go to a bar setting. Probably, you know, if I'm going out for a weekend night, I'm going out with Barney. Because let's be honest, dude's got game.
He knows how to have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So being a single guy, yeah, that would be a great time for everyone involved. But hopefully I would do a little better than Randy. Although I also get a nosebleed when I have an erection.
Don't we all?
Oh, I'm just going to say, if I'm going for a casual hangout, I'm going to go get some coffee with Chandler probably as well. But on a weekend night, I'm going to a bar with Barney.
Not to cop you, but I want to spend the night at the bar with Mr. Barnabas Stinson and request the highest of fives possible.
Absolutely. Have you met Doug?
I made these hats.
They're wet, Doug. Why are they wet?
Well, since I said, have you met Doug? Is it too early for my first fun fact?
Never too early. Go ahead.
So this is one Mike probably knew. Now listen, for our listening audience, Mike, Corey, and Doug are probably going to know a lot of these facts, but not everyone might know them. So I'm sharing this for you guys.
We're TV nerds.
Yeah. So I don't need you guys coming in every 2 seconds like, well, yeah, obviously. Shut the hell up, okay? Even though our listeners are going to be like, yeah, obviously.
I disagree. I love you all.
Obviously.
I disagree. No, but first fun fact. Since we did the Have You Met Doug, So, Have You Met Ted actually came from Carter Bayes and Craig Thomas's boss when they were at Letterman. He would like literally do that to them. They would go out to bars and he would like tap girls on the shoulders and be like, hey, have you met Craig?
Nice.
So they literally incorporated that into the show.
No, I didn't know that one either, actually. So
yeah. So it's not just Barney. That might.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Obviously. Yeah, so it's not just Barney. That might actually work. Try it sometime, you know.
I can't.
Maybe you'll meet the mother of. Oh yeah. Maybe you'll meet the mother of your children.
No.
No. Or maybe that's not the best play. I'm not here.
I'll
to
tell you
judge.
right now. No.
This might.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
To quote Superbad, I met my first wife at a bar, who is a whore, by the way.
God damn it.
This might actually be like a curveball of an answer, but I think that as far as like how much fun it would be to hang out with somebody, I think Marshall would be the most fun to hang out with.
Where are you going with him?
Like, I'd probably go to the bar with him.
I mean, yeah,
either place. Honestly, either
The
place. would
lawyer
work,
bar.
Is he with life ruining Lily at the time?
No, he's by himself. Like he's going out. He's going out for a bro day.
Okay, Mike, being a Packers fan, are you guys going to Little Minnesota?
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Oh Jesus!
Because that's where Marshall's gonna. That's where Marshall's gonna take you. You'll get kicked out of there faster than a Canadian afraid of light. I mean, afraid of darkness.
I do love so much that in the 9th season they make him put all that Packers stuff on when they're in Wisconsin.
That has to be a great moment for you.
Every single time I watch that show, I think of you. Like, oh, Mike's happy.
He throws that thing down and they all just stop talking and they stare at him. And Daphne's like, "Put it back on.
Put it back on." Oh man. Yeah, so Mike, you're going to grab a brew with Marshall, Judge Fudge.
I definitely gonna go grab a brew with Marshall. He's a good time. He's got great jokes. Well, as long as he's not actually trying to tell jokes.
Yeah, of course.
When they come naturally for him, he's hilarious.
Can I change mine to the cigar bar with Robin?
Oh, absolutely.
Cigar and scotch. You are a bro.
You're more of a bro than Ted is.
Are any of you guys eating sandwiches?
I'm eating at least 3 sandwiches before I go, and 100%. One while I'm there.
Damn. See, with your intro about sharing food, now I don't know if you're talking about sandwiches or sandwiches.
And you never will know.
Lily doesn't know that I'm high.
Lily has no idea. You're high? I'm sorry, baby. One of the greatest moments in How I Met Your Mother.
I kind of asked that question just kind of like to lead up to one of my favorite scenes that How I Met Your Mother did. That is 100% a shot at Friends.
And Swarley.
Yeah, in the episode Swarley.
Yeah.
Where they're sitting in the coffee shop waiting for their drink order. Yeah. And it's just total silence for maybe like 5 to 10 seconds. And finally Ted goes, "Yep, that settles it. Hanging out in a coffee shop is nowhere near as fun as hanging out in a bar."
Imagine taking shots at your superior like that. That's weird.
There's an episode of Friends where they flash back to where Central Park used to be a bar.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and I was confused it with the pilot because I'm pretty sure.
Because it's a flashback, yeah.
Yeah, I always confuse it with the pilot.
That's one of the, it's when Janice asked, did any of you sleep with any of you? And did any of you almost sleep with any of you? Then it flashes back.
That's when Ross finally learns that his wife's a lesbian, right?
Yeah, and he almost sleeps with Phoebe on the pool table.
Yeah, right, okay. Yeah, I always forget about that sequence.
Well, I'm going to let Corey answer this question because I know how he feels hardcore about this. Is How I Met Your Mother an exact copy of Friends?
Exact is unfair to say because How I Met Your Mother has all these really boring, not funny moments, and Friends doesn't. So it's not an exact copy.
You mean emotionally impactful moments that actually hit?
You mean like real moments?
I want to let people know I fucking love this show.
You mean real human moments?
Yeah, I don't like those. They make me feel things.
You're just gonna smash How I Met Your Mother with a hammer. I think it's too late to like backpedal now.
No, I'm not trying to backpedal. I think in the world of did it copy Friends, it 100% copied Friends, down to storylines, even lines, even the same woman being dumped on her birthday is in both fucking shows.
It's true.
They
copied it so deep. They got the same actress and she got dumped on her birthday on both shows.
I forgot about that.
You know they did that on purpose.
Yes, they had to have.
Yeah, there's a few things. I mean, they definitely took a lot from Friends, but there are some moments that they did like literally to break the fourth wall. That was one of them.
Yeah.
Because people are going to make that connection. Like, wait, isn't that the same same with the Swarley episode? That was like people are going to enjoy this or people are going to hate this.
Yeah. And it was bold. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And they made a hell of a show out of it.
I mean, it just goes to show you what they knew about the audience was that they were all the people that watch Friends or watching our show.
And it was obviously a love letter in some ways, because you don't make a show like that for 9 seasons and you didn't like the show. You don't copy a show for 9 seasons without having some kind of respect for it.
Yeah.
But what you should have done was had a 10th season, because your 9th season failed so bad that maybe you should have had a 10th.
Or maybe they should have cut it a season early.
Or introduced the mom in like season 4 or 5 instead of 8, like, because nobody cared by then.
No, I don't think introducing her that early, it wouldn't have worked for me, I don't think.
I don't think they should have I think it should have ended with the scene where she's saying it with the umbrella covering her face and never showed it, and that should have been the ending.
Oh. I don't
know.
Yeah, I don't like the way they ended it, but I do like the scene. I think the scene was needed at the train station. I love that Farhampton.
No, that's great. That is where I think it should have ended.
That's where it should have ended, yeah.
I would have been okay. I would have been okay if it would have ended at, like Adrian said, at the end of season 8 with her showing up and asking for the tickets to Farhampton. Like, that would have been okay with me.
Maybe even
there's your reveal without like really going into it. Like, okay, we met her. We're done.
Either way, it's better than having an entire 9th season where Marshall's not even with them half the time.
Oh, I hate
He's with Daphne. Who gives a shit? It's all at a wedding.
Friends.
Yeah, it's also all at a wedding.
These are real.
Of a couple that don't even end up together.
Yeah.
And they threw Barney's character development out the window. There's just nothing good about that last season. I still enjoy it.
That season was like the opposite of a payoff.
I'll still watch that season and laugh the whole time, though. That's the difference.
Oh, it's got a lot of
I do
hilarious
enjoy
moments.
it, but it ended completely incorrectly.
It was like, well, here we go. Fun fact. And I know you guys all know this one.
Adrian's fucking fun facts.
Thank you, Mike. But that was a team effort there. No, I know all you guys know this one.
I did
because obviously they're.
You were the audience.
He was the audience.
Yeah, okay.
He was the listeners.
I'm trying to get a fun fact here.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my goddamn fun fact out. Obviously. No, but as you guys know, because you can see the age of the actors, Luke and Penny, Ted's kids, they knew how this story ended in the first season. All of their scenes were shot in season 1.
Which is bonkers crazy.
They literally had to sign like non-disclosure forms, like saying they will not. The kid who played Luke, he has so many interviews saying like he would be out at bars with people, strangers would offer to buy him drinks, like so they could know what happens to the story. Like, so who does he end up with? What happens?
I bet.
I believe that the only scene that they shot after season 1 was the very end with actual Ted.
Right.
Well, that makes sense, but the kids probably still would have known because they had dialogue.
Oh no, yeah, no, they knew.
They were like the only people in the world besides, the creators, obviously, that knew how the show was going to end.
I've even heard the other actors say they didn't even know.
I believe Josh Radnor found out towards the end, like towards like either season 8 or 9, and he had to kind of keep it from the rest of the cast.
I gotta ask, you guys watch a lot more interviews than me. Has any of the cast come out and gave their opinions on the ending of this show?
Not that I've ever heard.
I don't think I've ever seen an interview with them where they have, honestly.
I'd really like to know.
There's actually a serious lack of interviews with How I Met Your Mother of how they felt about the show. I've looked it up, and there's barely anything you can find. It upsets me.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I know there has to be thoughts on the ending. I guess for whatever reason, I've never thought to go out of my way and look at those, like what they thought. Maybe because I disliked it so much. I'm like,
I've looked up all the Friends ones, how they all felt about it, and I've looked up the How I Met Your Mother, and there's just really nothing out there that I've found anyway.
Well, I mean, I guess you don't want to shit talk something you were a part of for 9 years.
Exactly. It might be safer to just not talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's smart because they know that 95% of the fan base cannot stand that ending.
Plus, they know if their favorite people they watch on that show also don't like it, they might stop liking it. So maybe, maybe they're just trying to keep their show safe, because it still is a classic. People love it.
Oh yeah.
So, if all the actors went and talked shit on it, it might kill its buzz a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. For like future generations of people that might like want to watch the show.
Yeah, like how many times has Friends already been reignited? It's been 3 times since it ended now that people are like, I'm so into Friends. Then 3 years later, I'm so into Friends. That'll keep happening for How I Met Your Mother if they just shut up and let it ride.
Jennifer Aniston literally started a new wave of, I don't even have this written down. I just knew this one. Something I knew by my own self. No, but Jennifer
So
Aniston.
should we just do a calm melody and a firecracker? Beep, 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 beep.
Bum, 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 bum.
Adrian's random fun facts.
Adrian's eclectic knowledge.
No, but yeah, Jennifer Aniston pretty much started like a new wave of Friends fans because I think it was 2018 when she started an Instagram account. And of course, her first picture on there was that picture with her and all the friends. Like it said, and now we're Instagram friends too. And that like started a whole new wave of people like, oh yeah, well, maybe I'll check this show out. And then of course they just had that reunion, which was amazing.
It was
I
great.
did love that reunion. Was awesome.
Jennifer Aniston obviously had the biggest career after Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's pretty awesome how
Brad
much
Pitt
he still cares about
no,
that.
I know he's a guest
Oh
star.
yeah, the Bruce Willis, Brad Pitt,
Reese Witherspoon,
There's a lot of like big
Paul
names.
Rudd.
Yeah, no, Paul Rudd.
You mean
Okay,
crap bag?
I guess you can,
Azaria.
Oh yeah,
you can sort of count Paul Rudd. I guess he was a mainstay for a while.
Bro, he was in Halloween
He was in the
6.
last 2 yeah. He was in the last 2 seasons, at least.
And since we're talking about Friends real quick, another person that wanted to make a cameo, Justin Timberlake, was like begging to be on the show, but they just didn't find a part for him.
Oh, that would have been
I mean,
awesome.
back then he wasn't quite the actor he is now.
Right, he was just like ramen hair Justin Timberlake.
He was still like NSYNC kid.
He was chicken flavored ramen.
He was still carrying that entire boy band on his back.
Oh, for sure.
Without a doubt.
Don't you talk shit on Joey Fat One.
That was quite an ironic name.
It was a weird time.
And every time when we were kids we played boy bands, I had to be Joey Fat One.
And speaking of NSYNC, this is totally off topic. I just wanted to say it real quick. I watched Red Rocket yesterday, and it fucking opens with Bye Bye Bye, and I'm like, all right, I'm into this movie. Like, unironic, like 20 years later, I hear Bye Bye Bye, and I'm like, this song fucking slaps.
Well, dude, me and you, and I hope anybody listening has this fucking video. I've been looking for it for years. Me and you and a few of our friends did the entire song choreography, dance, and song at Double Play.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We
I
had
still
a crowd of people standing around us watching us.
If you're a guy in his 30s who does karaoke ever and you haven't got up and done a Backstreet Boys song with your bros or something one time, you're not. You can't even.
I have indeed done that, actually.
Guilty.
Hell yeah.
Me and my buddy Mike at the casino, we'll be like 25, 30 feet away from each other, and if we hear it over the speaker, we'll be like, I want it. We'll just be like yelling. I'll be like, Mike. He'll be like, tell me why.
Excellent.
Guests are just like looking at us. Like sometimes the guests will start dancing and shit. People are like, you guys are crazy. Like, hey,
You gotta have fun, man.
Backstreet Boys comes on, I can't help. I lose. I lose it. I black out.
Certified bangers. Anyway.
That's right. But anyway, yeah, Friends. I almost said Friends, Backstreet Boys. Friends, How I Met Your Mother.
Same thing.
You know, How I Met Your NSYNC. Backstreet Friends.
How I Met.
No, Backstreet Friends are a different thing, kids. Don't ever look for those.
Backstreet.
Don't Google it.
For this.
Do not Google that.
So I have a strange question that I don't think I've ever really thought to ask. Which show do you think has the better pilot? Like between both shows, which one do you think set the show up a lot? Like which one which one set the show up better?
That's a good question.
Dude, you just crossed your eyes when you fixed that sentence.
I know. I got really annoyed with myself. I'm like, why am I stumbling over this?
Your eyes stumbled over that sentence. Holy shit. What the fuck is that size of that drink, dude?
It's a 1 liter. Oh no, it's a 1.25 liter.
Like
It's not.
That's how he got away
What?
with not pissing
Like,
Adrian off.
Hold that
It's
back
not
up.
a 2-liter.
Not a 2-liter.
This is a 1-liter. That looks way bigger.
I have a 16 ounce.
What the hell is it with you guys? Adults don't drink soda.
Does this piss you
What?
off?
Most adults drink soda.
That kind of pisses
Adrian.
me off.
Does it help that I put it in a glass with ice?
Okay, that's classy.
That's
But-
awful.
But Adrian, I
That's
don't
classy.
Need 2 hands. I don't need 2 hands.
Oh, all right. I'll allow it.
Do you even drink coffee from a Revenge of the Mummy cup?
No, I drink mine from a Tokyo Drift.
I drank
Oh,
Coke with coffee.
Coca-Cola with coffee?
What is
Yeah.
that?
weird.
That is
Is
a
that
strange
any good?
combination. All right, guys, but
the
yeah,
second episode of the podcast we've
We've been
about.
talking about drinks for a long time.
Well, we're talking about coffee. Friends.
on a
Yeah,
time
that's
crunch.
right.
Hey, on a time crunch. What do we think of that pilot? I don't know how to answer that really, because I don't necessarily think either pilot is like really solid. I don't love I feel like it introduces the characters. I feel like Friends started off stronger. I feel like How I Met Your Mother took a little longer to find its footing, but like once it got going, it was fucking really good.
When How I Met Your Mother finally accepted that it was just Friends 2.0, it got a lot better. When it tried way too hard to separate itself at first, and I think that was why it started out slower. But when it finally was just like, fuck it, and embraced it, it just picked up and rolled.
I think How I Met Your Mother had enough there, like with the having a narrator and having, to me, like a better premise and just different characters. I feel like they had enough there to separate themselves, and you're probably right. They were trying too much to be their own thing.
Like, they got used to that, but they eased up on it a bit and just let like the more like Friends-esque scenarios happen more. They always exaggerated them more, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest reason I like Friends more than How I Met Your Mother is Friends is
Whoa,
more
it's too early to be
realistic.
saying that.
No, like, I wasn't hiding that from second one. Like,
Oh, that's fair.
there is no secret here, folks. I prefer Friends to How I Met Your Mother like 5-1.
See, now there I completely agree with you, and I completely disagree with you. I think How I Met Your Mother is more realistic. Like the characters, like the world feels more like the real world. Like the problems that they have are more relatable. Like Lily and Marshall, the troubles they have as a couple. But at the same time, I see what you're saying. How Friends is more realistic.
Even things as stupid as financially, How I Met Your Mother makes a lot more sense. Like they do explain in Friends, they have that giant apartment because of rent control, but
Right.
the amount of times they're unemployed
Lazy
or
writing.
have jobs that really don't pay that well and they're in that big ass apartment, it's
Yeah.
just not realistic. And they're constantly going out to eat. They always have food for Joey to steal. Joey is an out of work actor most of the time and still survives. Chandler doesn't make that much money.
Yeah.
No, Chandler makes that much. Chandler was the
He does
Barney.
not make that much money.
He was
I will give Friends this. They do explain a lot of what you're like saying though, because there's even that episode.
The eggplants and the steaks.
Yeah, there's that episode. That's the one I'm talking about, where the three of them are complaining that the other three, Ross, Monica, and Chandler, are always like, "Oh, you guys were going to go do this," and expect like them to have the money when they don't, but then they always like pay for them.
They do address that, but to me, Friends doesn't really make it an ongoing thing. It's kind of like it's brought up, and then that's kind of it.
I think it's joked about.
But How I Met Your Mother, it's constantly like a struggle. Marshall's talking about like his internship, he's losing money, and like we really can't afford to be doing the shit that we're doing.
But I also see where Doug's coming from. Like there are moments, like some of the jokes in How I Met Your Mother are very over the top.
Oh, agreed.
When I say over the top, they're super unrealistically over the top.
I have a great example of it. Think of the character, the captain, and everything that had to do with him. It was ridiculous.
But it
Like
was hilarious.
Zoe breaking out all his animal and all that shit. It was just so. I'm not saying.
You remember they have a crutch because that is told by Ted. And all that
I know.
stuff isn't
Yeah, yeah.
necessarily true.
See, I'm not saying they shouldn't have done that. I'm saying this is my takeaway. Like for Friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wasn't really you're right about the whole struggle thing with Marshall talking about losing the internship and money and stuff. But those when I said realistic, I wasn't talking about like the little details. I was just meant like Ross and Rachel going to the laundromat together because she doesn't have a fucking washing machine because she's in an apartment, and them just having like this normal ass. I've had that literal experience.
Absolutely.
Here's, even though I also like Friends more, and I don't care if we were going to get to that, I'm going to say it. Here is where I think How I Met Your Mother gets away with being so over the top. Because it's Ted telling that story in the 2030s, he could be exaggerating every single part of the story. They get away with the fantasy parts because he's telling a story. They're not necessarily playing it out as you see it. It probably didn't happen anywhere near the way Ted tells it.
He even acknowledges sometimes, like, when Lily and Marshall jump from, like, the third story window.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, this isn't probably the way it happened, but this is the way they told it.
Well, I mean, and there's a fan theory out there that people think that Ted's actually the piece of shit and that Barney's actually like the good guy. And
Ted was the womanizer.
Trying to make him look bad so that his kids don't feel like he's an asshole for trying to go after Robin.
Which 100% could
kind of makes sense. Yeah.
It could be possible.
Barney never backslid. He actually had all this growth and development, and it was just Ted's version of him that backslid back into his old ways.
Ted realized while telling the story he was making Barney too much of a good guy, so he destroyed his character.
And what a damn shame that was, huh? Barney had so much character development.
He did.
Barney had the most character development of any character in either of these shows, and then they 100%. Just fucking tanked
almost
it.
In any sitcom period.
Joey being a close second between these two.
Yep.
Whoa.
Except Joey actually, kept his character development.
Joey being a close second on character development?
Yeah, he went from a womanizing idiot who hit on every girl to thinking about relationships and maybe a family. I mean, he went a complete 180 in that show. He did the same thing Barney did, exact to a T.
I don't know if I feel that at all. I feel like Joey's almost the same guy when the show started. He was even more witty and intellectual, and he could hold his own. By the end, he was a fucking 7-year-old.
He was dumber mentally, but he was more mature in what he wanted out of life.
I will say they definitely kind of made Joey a caricature of himself towards the end as far as intellect goes.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't rank Joey as high on my character development of any of these characters.
I don't know. Maybe I have a higher bar than you guys, but I never saw him as any amount of intellectual from day one. So
he was always the least intelligent.
But he wasn't as stupid as they made him out to be towards the end of the series.
He could hold his own in a conversation, and he was witty.
He sat in the TV stand and let people rob him.
But it was small moments, like in the first season. I think Ross talks about his dogs going up to live at the farm, and Joey's like looking at him like, dude, are you serious? You're an idiot. And then like literally the last episode of the series, Joey talks about, hey, he gets the new duck and the chick. He's like, maybe someday you guys can go to live up the farm where Chandler took the other duck and chick. It's like, you said in the first season, you know what that means. And then you backslid into like, yeah, but they went to a farm.
That's simply just the writers forgetting they did that. That happens in every show.
It does.
And then literally like later in the series, he talks about his fucking Joey's apple. Like in one episode in season 1, he refers to it as an Adam's apple. I don't remember what the conversation is, but it's stuff like that. It's like, did he like fucking, when he got hit in the head after he got medical insurance, did that ruin some of his brain activity?
Very well could have.
It could have. I would give credence to that theory because he became dumb.
I personally think that out of the Friends characters, Chandler probably had the most character development.
Yeah, I'd probably agree. Rachel's up there.
I was going to say probably Rachel. But
all right, why do I always forget about Rachel? Because she's the least exciting character.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. Rachel and then Chandler. Yeah, Rachel, I guess she does.
I would agree with
bratty little.
For sure, yeah. She can't like stand on her own 2 feet. She gets by on Daddy's credit card.
I concede to you on that one, Doug. Yeah, Rachel definitely had the most character development, but
I believe I said that, but Doug agreed with that. No, I think Doug was getting ready to say that though.
Hey, no. You can concede to me all you want.
Concede?
Normally,
normally
I don't let Doug have the credit. I was gonna give him the credit.
Yeah, that's
I have to take it by force.
Oh man.
Praise me. Okay.
That just made me think of Jim Carrey and Bruce Almighty. Love me.
That's Jennifer Aniston too.
Sorry, Jennifer. Yes.
Hey, you see that?
There's a connection.
It's like a circle. It's like a circle.
Brings you back.
Do you remember when one of you actually said you wish that her or Jennifer Aniston
that was
and Jim Carrey
me.
would do a movie together?
Totally forgot about it.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Me, this giant Jim Carrey fan who's even watched the shittiest movie of all time, Earth, Women Are Easy.
Oh, God.
Whew, what a pile.
If we did a shitty movie off, that would be one to bring.
That might be the worst movie I've ever tried to watch.
I have a better one for you guys from Friends.
Okay.
What if Bruce Willis and Matthew Perry did a movie together?
No. That was Gary Oldman acting as Bruce Willis acting in Friends.
Corey, I have it wrote down, but do you want to talk about you remember this, right? The Bruce Willis appearing on Friends.
What? Of course I remember.
He's like, what? No, do you remember the reason he appeared on Friends?
He lost a bet with Matthew Perry, right?
Yes.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, the bet. So when they came out with the whole 9 yards together, Matthew Perry bet Bruce Willis it would be #1 opening weekend in the box office, and it was.
Oh,
So Bruce Willis had to come on and do Friends unpaid. Well, he gave all of his salary to a charity.
nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And he was in an episode about his young college daughter dating her professor.
What show would do that?
No show would ever copy that whole storyline.
Yeah, where else have I seen that?
A professor, by the way, who became a professor because the actual job he went to college for wasn't really panning out. Where did that come from?
Shit.
Seen that in a show before.
Those who can't do, teach.
And those who can't teach
Wait.
Jim.
Yeah,
Wait. Is that from that fucking...
Was that a School of Rock reference?
It was.
Nice. Oh, I literally have a Jack Black fun fact incorporated for some reason that I could talk about. So Barney and How I Met Your Mother was originally written as a Jack Black / John Belushi type.
Oh, God.
Who was?
Barney Stinson.
Oh, that's not right.
But as soon as NPH auditioned, they're like, nope, this is the way we're going.
As soon as they saw him fix his tie. They were like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
no.
right.
This is a smooth motherfucker.
Yeah, he said when he did his audition, din din din. Oh yeah, that's right. Daddy's home.
Daddy's home. Wink.
Yeah, they said NBH said when he did his audition, he didn't think he got the role because, like, in hindsight, he thinks he got it for this reason. But like he was doing the physical comedy, they had him act out a laser tag scene, and he did like a diving roll, and he like hit his face off their desk and dropped everything. So he thought he didn't get it for that reason, but he's like, looking back, that's probably why I got it.
His physical comedy in that show is great.
It's really good.
Since we're going to talk about physical comedy, though, nobody was better physical comedy than Ross Geller.
That's
Nobody.
absolutely true.
David Schwimmer is perfect. When he goes into that hotel room when Joey comes into the hotel room and Ross and Rachel are drunk, when he says, I got you, and he goes to sit in the chair that's not there.
Yeah.
And then he just looks up at Chandler, he goes, or Joey goes, hey, are you all right? It's one of the funniest things.
The episode where Ross wears the leather pants.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh my God.
Smacks himself in the face trying to pull him back up. He's so good. He's one of the best physical comedians I've ever seen in my life. The only person that might be a little better at the pratfalls is Kevin James.
Oh, yeah.
He's pretty damn good at the pratfalls.
Kevin James knows how to fall down.
Yes, he does.
He sure does.
Ross was one of those characters that started off really annoying to me, but as the show progressed, got more funny.
I love Ross.
He started off really relatable to me, and then his like downward spiral into madness is like, fuck my future.
Ross had one of the great descents into madness.
Yes.
My sandwich.
I'm sorry, I have to take this for my rage.
Oh my God. I love when you're sleeping with my sister. This isn't good for my rage. He's like shaking his pill bottle.
And if anybody wants proof of his descent into madness, go to YouTube and look up Ross Geller is mad about his sandwich without the music in the back.
Oh my
laugh
God.
track. Holy shit.
It's like a Hitchcock film.
Just that whole video of him without a laugh track. He's a psycho.
You threw it away?
And here's the thing about Ross, like he's a prime example of somebody that definitely gets flanderized, but I enjoy him the crazier he gets.
Me too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't think
he gets more like sociopathic and like whiny and
I think that, but it was all in the spiral of the way his character was.
It makes sense.
Like he was supposed to be.
It makes sense.
That's why I wouldn't even call that flanderization, because it was like intended to be that way based on like his life events.
Yeah, and I mean the dude was constantly taking L's. Like I felt so bad for Ross.
Yeah,
he goes
got
through
the ultimate W though.
He did it to himself. He did it to himself a lot though.
Yeah. Hey, I married a lesbian to make you look good.
Yeah.
I fucking love that line.
Oh shit.
She's like, go back. What was that last one? The therapist, like, I don't know. He's nice and everything, but I hate that guy. He's funny. You're funny. I'd hate to see what happened when no one's around to hear the humor.
When the laughter stops.
Yeah, when the laughter stops, Chandler's like, what did you say? And then Joey's dad comes in. Hey, Chandler, tell a joke. Oh, 0 for 2.
Hey, Chandler, say something funny.
Say something funny. Chandler's
0 for 2, huh?
Oh, yeah, that's a perfectly timed moment because like this therapist. I think
he looks, and then it doesn't even look at Ross and say, "How's the wife?" or something like that.
Yeah,
like right after that.
Yeah, it's just a perfect moment because this therapist comes in and just like eviscerates their fucking life, and then Joey's dad comes in and he plays on everything they're known for.
Yeah.
Hey, Chandler, say something funny. Oh, 0 for 2, huh?
Oh, that's such a good episode.
Yeah, that is a great episode. No, but I was totally fine with Ross's like slow descent into madness.
He's not my favorite character, but he's a very underrated comedy phenom in those shows. Like he has such subtle jokes that are just perfectly timed.
His really timing played the character well.
Like, he did.
I think he doesn't get enough credit for how hard he nailed that role.
No, not at all.
He doesn't get enough credit because of how his love life went in the show. Like he kind of fucked up every relationship he was in, and it wasn't even really super believable that him and Rachel were going to be forever at the end there. Like they got back together, obviously, but he fucked it up every time. And who's to say 2 months after the show ended?
That was the question.
When he ran out of medication for his
exactly
rage,
or when their kid got old enough to run around the house and break things.
But hey, go ahead, Mike.
Well, I also feel like the reason you don't find Ross nearly as funny, or a lot of people don't think about him as the funny one, is because Chandler kind of overshadows that. But I mean, Ross has just as many like sarcastic moments as Chandler does.
To be honest, but the three guys, Chandler and Joey were supposed to kind of be the funny guys, and Ross was supposed to be the straight man.
Right.
But he had such clever, witty jokes in there that he kind of became a third comedian, but he became the third comedian.
Yeah.
So everybody saw him as that.
Yeah, I'll be honest here. And Chandler is my favorite character from either one of these shows, like just for the record. But season 1 through 4 through 5 Friends, I love the Chandler and Joey thing. I don't want to say Chandler got weaker when him and Monica got together, but I think Ross
kind of did.
I think there was this overlap where Ross was coming up for me, and Chandler wasn't necessarily going down, but he was kind of like plateauing.
Level,
yeah, he flatlined.
And like Ross might have overtaken Chandler in the last couple seasons for me, but Chandler's still my favorite overall. But I just think his dynamic with Joey's roommate worked the best for me.
You're right. By the last couple seasons, Ross probably was actually my favorite male character in the show.
And maybe it's just because I'm more like early Chandler, like terrified of commitment. But to me, he was best at that time.
It's not really that Chandler became less funny when he got with Monica. He became more responsible, and he kind of fell into the Ross funny. Like
he was almost like the dad.
He was dad comedy, yeah.
Monica and Chandler literally became mom and dad, like
to everybody, to all of them,
to all the friends. Yeah, they were still funny.
Which in groups of friends where there's like couples like that, there's always that couple that's like the group parents.
There absolutely is the mom and dad.
And I am so glad that worked out, because that's actually one of my favorite things to look forward to every time I do a rewatch is when they first hook up and start running around secretively.
Yeah, that was actually a good device to put in that show. That was cool. Even though they only did that because they weren't sure they were going to keep them as a couple. They thought the audience was going to hate it.
That makes me think of a question. What's up?
The way Joey reacts throughout that entire time when they're forcing him to keep the secret, and how aggravated he's getting. He's like, "Will you just tell them?"
Well, they don't know that we know they know we know.
They know we. Yeah,
and even then, Joey puts those fucking pieces together that they were together. He would have never done that in season 10.
The eyelash curlers and seeing
When his eyes get big.
The faces he makes when he realizes things fucking crack me up.
He would have never put that together in season 10. Paper,
No.
snow, a ghost.
I don't know. He figured out the whole Ross was going to propose to Rachel thing really fast. When he found that ring, it didn't take him long to put that piece together.
But that was the beginning of season 9. I'm talking like season 10. Joey is prime stupid.
That doesn't even make any sense. Who puts a ghost in the fridge?
Don't get me wrong.
That makes sense. Why would you put a ghost in the fridge?
You put this in your coffee. Your fingers, your hand, your face. Don't get me wrong. That's one of my favorite scenes, but I'm like, God damn, Joey's real dumb.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude.
We don't even have to talk about the French. I think we can all agree that was a little bit over the top. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Like when he thinks he's speaking French.
He wasn't trying at all.
The joke, the payoff was good when he had to do it and it didn't work. But like when he's talking to Phoebe, it's like, oh my God, this dude's not even trying.
She says, Je m'appelle Claude, and he says, Val da blee blue. Like, doesn't even try.
I think you literally did.
But you know people like that. Don't pretend like you don't.
No, but like
people like that.
He's supposed to be a functioning. How is this man a functioning adult with this friend circle?
I mean, he hardly was.
Well, Chandler supported him for how long?
Yeah.
There's a great joke that Ross makes when they're trying to teach each other the states. Like, it's really pathetic that 4 grown adults and Joey can't name all the states.
And Joey,
how many states do you got, Joe?
56. Joey
56.
Can't name all the states.
Oh, and I love when Joey comes over. He's like, "You need some help?" Ross is like, "From you? Yes, please." First of all, Ross, Utah, you can't be making up states.
I just thought of a question to ask you guys. So you guys like how Monica and Chandler ended up together? Did you like how their relationship progressed from not being together to dating and then married, or did you prefer the How I Met Your Mother approach to having Lily and Marshall just together right out the gate?
I liked it more in Friends, honestly. I like that they were just friends first, and she got to see the low points of Chandler. Still fell for him, even though you saw the low points. With Marshall, you don't really see any of that.
We kind of got glimpses through flashbacks, but even the flashbacks, they were more or less already together.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think it was a bold decision to have a couple that you planned on keeping together the entire series already together.
Bold that usually doesn't pay off, and this time did, yes.
It worked out really well because they were considered the go-to relationship throughout that entire series, even though they did split up for almost an entire season.
And the reason they did that, and Mike, you probably know this, is because that was literally Craig Thomas's girlfriend. They were college sweethearts, and now they're married. That's what that's based off of. So that's why Marshall is with her, from college.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, their entire premise, Carter Bays, they came up with the show because Carter Bays used to come over to Craig Thomas's apartment all the time and bitch about being single to Craig Thomas and his girlfriend. And they're like, hey, that's what we'll do with the show. Ted is this guy that always bitches about being single, but
some of the biggest selling books and TV shows and movies are based off just that writer's life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's how Friends came about too. Is they were just, a lot of the original stories in the beginning were from the writers' perspectives of things that have happened to them.
And George R.R. Martin used to be a dragon.
That's true.
That's very true.
That is the biggest fact you're going to learn on this podcast.
Oh, and by the way, so the Friends creators wrote about their experiences, a group of friends living in New York City, getting into monotonous situations, almost like Seinfeld that came out 4 years earlier.
No. This is Seinfeld was bad.
This isn't the Friends versus How I Met Your Mother versus Garbage sitcom show podcast episode.
Thank you, Mike.
If you want to do Friends and How I Met Your Mother, there have been some parallels to Seinfeld and Friends. Seinfeld did it first. The characters were completely different, and things were completely different.
I just don't even see the similarities, really. I guess I see the similarities in the sense that it's a group of friends doing stuff in New York, but I don't see the Seinfeld ones realistic.
With a funny neighbor that they always go and get coffee together. Some things are there. some through lines are there.
I mean, I think it's a stretch. I think there's some stretches, but I do see the similarities.
You could stretch anything into having similarities.
I don't think Seinfeld's like Friends whatsoever. I'm just saying.
Okay. I wasn't sure where you were going. I was like, are you really?
No.
We're gonna have to use the last hour arguing that because
I was going to say at this point in the game, you could look at any sitcom and be like, oh, it stole this from that. Like,
absolutely,
because it's just almost everything's been done before.
Yeah,
it's the same thing with a lot of music theory. You take the same chord progressions and scales, but you play them in a different order because almost everything's been fucking done.
Yeah.
All right, Corey, you can come back now. Music's not going to hurt you. All right.
Well, I just heard music and I blacked out a little bit.
Come back to the light.
All right, real quick before we get into our next questions, can I go over a few audition choices for both shows? We can say what we thought real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so Corey, do you know who auditioned for Barney? Someone from one of your good favorite shows?
Nope.
Jim Parsons.
Oh, I don't think I would have liked
Sheldon
that.
Cooper auditioned for Barney Stinson.
That wouldn't have fit. He played a better awkward nerd.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. He's great. Even though I'm not a big fan of that show, he was made for that role.
Have you ever seen any of his casting shoots where he's like in this leather jacket, looking like he's like with like
he's real
back hair?
suave.
It's
but,
like, what the fuck is this?
But he's got this weird brontosaurus neck, long body about him that I don't think would have worked.
He wouldn't have pulled off Barney. I just don't see anybody else in that role.
This will probably be the nicest thing I'll ever say about that show, and that's Jim Parsons is the best part of that show.
Oh, for sure.
Jim Parsons is the best part of that show.
I'll give it one shout out. Because he asked about pilots earlier. I think Big Bang Theory had the best pilot of any show I've ever seen. Big Bang Theory's
got a great pilot.
Wow, there you go.
I think most shows, their pilots are their weakest, but with Big Bang Theory, I think it was actually one of its strongest episodes.
It's a very good one.
Let me say two things. Even if you don't watch Big Bang Theory, Sheldon Cooper has to go down as like one of the best characters in a comedy series ever.
Oh, he will.
I would agree with that.
That's my spot.
That's my spot. And number two, I'm feeling gross about talking this good about Big Bang Theory, so let's move on.
Can we keep talking about this?
Corey's like, they're actually saying nice things.
I know. I love this.
I've seen enough of it that we can do it too, man.
There you go.
Okay, good.
There you go. Okay, and then let me talk about a few people that were actually offered roles, but they turned them down. So, Robin Scherbatsky. I think we've talked about this before. The first actress they gave the role to is Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Oh, yeah, right.
But she turned it down for Ghost Whisperer.
Ooh, good choice.
Didn't that show run for like 15 years, though?
Did it run that long?
Like, I think it was like a CW staple next to Supernatural.
You're thinking of Ghostbusters.
Oh, the animated series?
The animated series.
I mix those up sometimes.
No, that's Ghost Adventures with the douchebag. The douchebag
Ghost
Freckles.
Rider, that show from when I was a child on BBC.
And then Corey, Doug, this one you guys will know, Mike won't know. But Scott Foley, who plays Sean in Scrubs, the dolphin trainer, he was actually offered the role of Ted Mosby. I don't know why he turned it
really?
down.
I think he would have been alright in that.
Did you know Jason Biggs was offered the role of Ted Mosby, or he auditioned for it?
I want to see that episode.
That kind of would have been funny, but I don't think.
Oh my god, that would have been awful.
That show would not have lasted 9 seasons with Jason Biggs.
Oh wow!
I think Josh Radnor and that was like lightning in a bottle casting.
Catering cannot get enough pies in there for that.
Josh Radnor didn't even. He's not your typical. He's a theater actor.
He's a theater guy. Yeah,
he's more of a stage.
I feel like any actress could have pulled off Robin because
I
can't
would agree
remember
with that.
her name. She's not a good actress.
Kobe Smulders.
Colby
Yeah,
Smulders?
she's not. She's good as Robin and nothing else.
She's Maria Hill. How dare you?
I knew you would bring that up.
Forget that she's supposed to be Maria Hill.
I don't agree with that because I watched the show Stumptown and I thought it was excellent, and I'm really upset that it was canceled.
Was it that one season thing she
did?
did?
You just make up a series?
No,
He's a cop.
There goes Mike again.
Detective. It only got canceled because of COVID. It was originally renewed for another season, but they canceled it.
It must be nice to live in an era where you can blame all your failings on COVID and people just believe it.
Now, Doug, to be fair, have you ever seen her in anything besides How I Met Your Mother and Marvel movies?
That's kind of my point.
Well, you never know. If you watch her in something else, you might.
I haven't. I don't even know of anything else to see her in.
I have seen her in something else. It was a Netflix TV show that sucked really bad.
Oh,
Friends from College.
Okay, well, Mike, you're not making a good case for her.
No, I just did make a good case for her.
She was in Stumptown, that show that went one season, and that shitty
No,
Netflix movie.
It was
Maybe they should have used Jennifer Love Hewitt.
And overall, all the Marvel movies she's in, she has like 8 lines, so she's not even like.
And she really phones them in too. Like,
Yeah.
she's kind of a bigger role in the second Spider-Man movie with Tom
All
Holland.
right, guys. Now I can give you a perfect wraparound.
But it's not her; it's a scroll, so it doesn't count.
yeah, God.
Now I can give you guys a perfect circle that will partially make you feel bad, and it connects with Kobe Smulders and Marvel. So Kobe Smulders was diagnosed with ovarian cancer during season 3 of the show.
Oh, like
Jesus.
for real?
Yeah, in real life.
Cool.
She didn't tell.
I
She
had
worked
no
through it. And the reason I bring that up is because it's very Chadwick Boseman. You know, he worked through his sickness.
Is that why they had the storyline with Robin not being able to have kids? Was that added? Did she like request that or something? Or?
I don't think
That's
that was
pretty fucked up. If they just said, "Hey, we're going to use this for the show."
We could
Yeah, that's what
exploit
I'm wondering.
this.
No, because she has 2 kids, I believe. There was one
Yeah, she
season
does.
where both her and Allison Hannigan were pregnant at the same time.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
She had a bunch of surgeries, and she was eventually cancer free.
Well, then, okay, I'll
Okay.
say she's a badass.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
just
fuck cancer.
and fuck
That's right.
cancer, truly, yeah. And then lastly, on the How I Met Your Mother front, Alicia Silverstone was going to play Stella. What
I could have.
what changed her mind was Britney Spears.
She didn't want to work with Britney
Oh, boy.
Spears.
Not that no, I don't want to start any drama here because we know Britney Spears listens to our podcast.
Hey, Brittany.
Clearly,
Hey,
we
Britney,
love you, Brittany. Glad you're
She's-
free.
she's back, bitch. But no,
No,
Goddamn
it's
time.
Backstreet.
so Alicia Silverstone's Alicia
Again,
Stone.
don't Google that.
Uh, God damn it. Alicia Silverstone's representatives thought that she would be overshadowed by Britney Spears, so they turned it down.
That's probably true.
Yeah. Oh,
It was 100% true.
yeah.
Although if you don't really like, it's kind of hard to realize that that's Britney Spears unless you really know. Like, she plays a really good character that,
Oh, she does.
like, it takes away from her being Britney Spears.
He's so stupid and awesome.
I love his hair.
I love his hair.
Isn't his hair
It's
I
so
love his
stupid
stupid,
and awesome?
perfect hair.
She is great in that show.
Hey, Barney, I'm pretty sure she thought you were serious about that proposal. Nope. Totally committed to the bit. Mom, it finally happened. He's like, I should probably go talk to
Probably good song.
Oh,
I,
man.
you know what? I think I would have preferred that though, because then Stella would have been able to be in the show more. The whole reason that she was barely in it, even though she's supposed to be the major part of the storyline, was because you're gonna Sarah Chalk. Is that who?
Sarah
Stella?
Chalk, yeah.
She was so busy doing Scrubs that she was trying to alternate her time between the 2 shows, and ultimately she.
And she was a main
Scrubs
star on
was-
Scrubs, so she's not going to choose How I Met Your Mother. Over
A
that.
show that I might like even more than Friends and How I Met Your Mother, but
I do.
but we
I
talked
don't
about
think it's yeah.
go back
we've
and
talked
listen to our
about
Scrubs episode.
that. We devoted a whole episode to Scrubs, so I think
It's a
that
good one.
answers that. And only 3 of us are in it.
That's right. One of us
I
will.
Mike, you've never seen Scrubs. Don't,
I've never
I
seen
just
Scrubs.
talked about
No,
people blaming their failings on COVID, and here we are.
I was doing a callback.
Callbacks.
Nice.
Actually, while I had COVID, I should have been spending my time on the couch watching Scrubs. You're right. My bad.
How far have you gotten in Futurama?
I am season 2.
Oh, okay. How much more have you watched of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I'm still where I was last time.
God damn it. We need to do an episode about that one day, and you need to be a
Mhm.
part of it.
Fuck yeah,
Which
dude.
one?
And
do you
I
want me to finish
care way
first?
more about the Futurama episode,
Okay,
and Always
there we go.
Sunny's great. But Futurama's the best.
It's Always
Okay,
Sunny.
anyway.
Anyway.
It's Always Sunny in New York.
Corey, you being the dentist doll?
I am.
If you guys have any favorite moments you'd like to talk about from either show,
Oh.
Oh, God, that's...
there's a lot of them. So
Do I get the rest of the time?
no?
No.
So I'm gonna
Pick your favorite one only.
Oh wow!
Okay. I have a favorite sad scene, a favorite happy scene, a favorite drama scene, a favorite theatrical scene from each show. You guys ready?
What's your favorite neutral scene?
You
Oh
guys-
man, I picked 12 of those.
You buy the whiskey drink, you buy the vodka drink. You sing the songs that remind you of the good time. Okay, anyway. Go. You see what I did there? Because tub thumping, because How I Met Your Mother, I get knocked down. All right, anyway, go ahead, Corey.
I wasn't actually going. I was just making a joke.
Oh. Let me just answer a hotly debated question. Since we've been talking about How I Met Your Mother for a while, let's jump back over to Friends.
Wait. None of us have shared any of our favorite.
No, I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna jump into Friends.
Okay. I was like, none of us have even answered.
No, I'm not doing fun facts. I'm going into like a moment that.
Oh, I bet I know where this is going.
Listen. Were they on a break?
100%.
Let me answer that, and I'll answer that by Rachel's own words.
Yep.
Yes, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about.
During the fight,
she says they're on a break, and then the next day when she comes to his apartment, she says, "Can I be your girlfriend?" ... again. Meaning that she was not his girlfriend.
Well, and during the fight, she says, "Ugh, we were on a break. It's different."
Yes, exactly.
She acknowledges it 3 times.
And if we've all seen that Friends reunion, every one of the cast members said, "Yeah, they were on a break."
Yep. Even her, she's
like, "Yeah."
I don't blame Ross for sleeping with the copy girl at all.
Yeah, no, right.
Nope, I did it too.
Wait, with that copier girl?
Not that exact one.
Not that exact one.
I know you're older than all of us, but how old were you in like 2001?
Oh God, I was 15.
All right, damn, you are old. God.
If something like that were to happen, how would we handle it? Close our eyes at all times. But what if we accidentally grab something? Okay, eyes open at all times.
You gotta assign heads to something.
Oh, it's my favorite line in the whole show.
Okay, this time you have to assign heads to something.
Okay, heads will be ducks because ducks have heads. What kind of scary ass clowns came to your birthday?
Oh my God. We could literally do a full episode of just fucking Chandler quotes.
Oh, absolutely, we could.
Oh, sorry, did I get you? Shit. No, you didn't get me. It's an electric drill. You get me, you kill me.
Flies out that cuts his jacket. Well, that cut real nice.
Yep, that cut real nice.
That ripped real nice. I fucking love it.
Yeah, he literally has like the best fucking line delivery. Corey, we know the one we constantly laugh at is the fucking, that's not even real fish. That's a goldfish cracker.
That's a goldfish cracker.
Eddie's like, yeah, what's your point, man?
One of my favorites is still when he's like talking about getting paid when they're playing poker or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pay the piper. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Hand the money over. Give it to me. Or hand the money over. Pay the piper. Give me it.
Give me it. Just give me it.
Says, give me it. I don't know why it's so funny, but it is.
Oh, but fuck. I do like one of the earlier season arcs I love is fucking his crazy Eddie, the roommate.
Oh, it's one of the best 3 episode.
So first you have sex with my girlfriend, then you kill my fish?
Why did you do that, Chandler? Well, because sometimes after you have sex, you got to kill a fish.
He's like, look. He's like, look, bud, puts his hand on his shoulder. Look, buddy, she was here for 2 minutes. Will you look what I'm doing here? That can't be smart.
Well, that's not smart.
I'm going to take Mr. Hand here and put him right back into Mr. Pocket.
Oh, and then Eddie reaches in after he replaces it with a real fish. They get in another fight. He reaches in the fish tank and puts it in his pocket and walks out of the house. I'm taking Buddy with me.
I fucking love Crazy Eddie. I named him Chandler, like after you. That's not even a real fish.
I love how he convinces him that he moved out, that he doesn't live there.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He knew that he could play on the crazy.
Yeah, they're down in the coffee shop. He's like, do you remember yesterday? Well, of course I do. We went to Vegas and you bought me these new shoes.
Mr. Lucky here hit big at the tables, bought me these new shoes.
Chandler just...
I think I got rid of him. Yeah, I think I got rid of him. And he's standing in the window holding a human head. He's holding a human head.
I love that arc. Holy fuck. I got licked. I was at the subway and someone licked me in the neck. Licked me in my neck.
Oh, Leon's still alive. Or something like that. Phoebe knows him.
Oh, yeah. And I love the entire sequence, like the episode where there's the bullies at the Central Perk.
Yeah.
Like it's a 1-2 combo. Chandler does back to back. I fucking die laughing for like 30 seconds. At first he's like, What does he say? He says, the mean guys at the coffee house took my hat. And then right after that, Rachel comes up to Ross and Chandler's like, oh, wait, I have nobody.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, he fucking kills me. Like I'm saying, like Chandler season 1 through like 5 is peak fucking comedy. I base half of my personality on that.
I think a couple of us do.
Yeah.
That scene where Rachel's like flipping out on Ross after he leaves with the whole "we were on a break" thing again. Yeah. And then like she's like she says her whole spiel about like that doesn't happen to every guy, but it is a big deal and blah 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 whatever. And fucking he just comes out from behind the door. He's like, I knew
it. Ross is like, one of the later seasons, I can't remember when, Ross is like, I know she's sleeping with Joshua down at her job. Chandler's like, oh, it's 7 years in the past. My time machine works.
It's Mark, by the way.
Oh, Mark, yeah.
Nobody does that just to be nice. I know she's sleeping with him. It's 7 years ago. I'm saved. My time machine worked. But my favorite Chandler line, actually, that he ever delivers is when they're having the twins, and she goes, Chandler, you're freaking out. And he says, join me, won't you?
Join me, won't you?
You can't figure out why she's not freaking out.
Yeah. Or I love the one like right before we were talking about earlier, Joey gets hit in the head with the bat after he gets his medical insurance back. But like when he doesn't have it and he has the hernia, and Joey's like, and it's healing because it's getting darker and it hurts more. That means it's healing.
Oh, so good.
And then Phoebe walks in. She's like, what's wrong, Joey? Chandler's like, oh, he has a hernia, but nothing a little eye surgery won't fix.
First thing I'm getting is that laser eye surgery.
Yeah, Joey, first thing I'm thinking about is getting that laser eye surgery.
Oh, guys, I have one thing to say that can get us back on track.
Yeah.
We didn't laugh this much talking about HIMYM. Okay, let's move on.
Well, it's Chandler. He's a fucking Chandler's we haven't talked about HIMYM's best moments yet. I did a bunch of fun facts about it, and we said, you know what? Let's talk about Friends a little bit. But you're right. Fucking Chandler is god tier.
Oh, I'm crying a little bit. Okay.
Just look up videos of Chandler's best moments. You'll laugh for an hour.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, and then this the sequence when I think this is when Ross and Rachel had broke up, but when he starts smoking again and Rachel keeps taking it out of his mouth, he's like, okay, this is like the least fun game ever.
It's like coming home.
And then she gives him the tape and he fucking puts it on his arm. Nope, that patch is no good.
Yep.
You're a strong, confident woman who does not need to smoke. Just remember, if he takes you out, it does not mean you owe him anything.
It's actually a Joey moment, but when he comes in wearing like all Chandler's clothes, and like, could I be wearing any more clothes?
Oh yeah,
like him making fun, but he's wearing like literally everything Chandler owns.
Maybe if I wasn't going commando.
During that episode,
Joey broke his shoulder.
He breaks his shoulder.
Why?
Because you remember when he jumps into the chair to try to keep Chandler from getting into it?
I think he separated his shoulder.
Oh, okay.
They actually kind of use that in the show because there's a couple episodes where he's in a sling.
Yeah, there's a cold open where he's like in his room. You don't see him, but he's like jumping on the bed and he falls off. So that's how they like put the injury in the show.
It was clever.
It was clever.
Because it's something Joey would be doing.
Oh, absolutely. Joey would be doing that. Oh, man.
The analog to Chandler, the funny man in How I Met Your Mother, mostly Barney, I think.
Mostly Barney, yeah.
Most of my favorite moments come from Barney.
I would say How I Met Your Mother kind of divvies up the funny moments like between the characters a lot better than Friends did.
If you were to take all the characters and put them in one category, How I Met Your Mother characters probably are more whole-rounded altogether.
Closer to equal.
I think How I Met Your Mother kept the group together more often. Like
That
Friends
too.
split them up into pairs a lot, or like three of them. But How I Met Your Mother was mostly all of them all the time.
It was either all of them or just if they were a couple, just them two together.
I was okay with Barney having his catchphrases that he always had, but they didn't need to give Lily one too. That whole son of a bitch.
God.
Thing
Are you talking about the son of a bitch? I hated that.
I hated that because that's fucking Fez's line.
Yeah.
Oh, you
I mean,
son of a
there's that
bitch.
too. I didn't even,
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Every time she says it, I think that nope, that's Fez's.
And
Oh.
Fez's delivery was just way better.
You son of a
Oh, for
bitch.
sure.
You son of a
For
bitch.
sure.
And foreign kid just ate something off the floor. Okay.
Okay, let's not get into that. So
Yeah,
much, because
that's
we talk about that for hours.
We
too.
always get way off track when we go.
That
into
is, yeah, that's kryptonite territory. We need to not go that way.
we could do a 2-hour episode on just fucking Red Foreman.
And we will. Oh, just on
We
Red
might
Force.
never do a That 70 Show episode because we can't fucking stay on topic when we talk about it.
It's going to be a Patreon episode years from now because it's going to be so long and loud.
It'll be chunks of every episode we've ever done.
We're not even going to edit it. It's just going to be 5 hours long of us.
About like fucking Disney movies instead of That 70 Show.
Oh no, one of my favorite Barney moments though is probably it's like when they're talking about all the things that bother each other, like how Lily chews really loud.
The glass shattering episode.
The glass shattering episode, and I think it's called Spoiler Alert when they're trying to come up with Barney's thing, and they all get stuck for a second. He's like, "See, you can't think of anything because I have nothing." They're like, "Yeah, but you use these lame catchphrases, and you always like use this high pitched voice." Ted's like, "And you never listen to us." Barney's like, "What?" "Oh yeah, that's right. You didn't think of anything because I'm awesome."
He does them all.
Ted's like, "You literally did all three right there."
Yeah. Well, one of them was you zone out when we're having conversations.
He's like, "What?"
What? I'm sorry, I was zoning out.
that's right. You can't think of anything because I'm awesome.
Oh, I can relate to that.
Oddly, most of my favorite moments from How I Met Your Mother are the more serious ones.
Me too, honestly.
Like the Barney, one of my favorite Barney moments is actually when he's the whole reason that Lily came back in the first place because he was getting tired of Marshall being so upset.
That was actually kind of beautiful.
Yeah. Like you didn't see that coming that early in the series. You definitely didn't see that coming.
Well, you didn't see that early in the series. That was later that you found out that Barney was the reason. You don't see it when she's gone. It's a flashback.
That was towards the end of season 3.
I thought you meant it was during her being gone.
No. You
Oh.
saw,
Yeah,
you
you
saw
see
it
it
towards the end
later.
of season 3.
For all the
like,
shortcomings of Barney, he was out of that whole group. He was the best friend.
Oh,
in
for
that
sure.
group.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Out of all the characters in both these shows, he was like the only good friend that existed.
He was terrible to women, but as far as being a friend goes, he was probably the best friend out of any of them.
He was always trying to give them experiences, always trying to keep them together. He always needed them to be there for I know that Lily's the one that says be there for the big moments, but Barney's the one that always kind of pulls them together for the big moments.
Yeah, no, Barney's a fucking bro, except sandcastles in the sand.
Anybody would have laughed at their friend for that.
No, I mean when he hooked up with Robin,
Oh.
Yeah, but let's be honest there.
he was
okay?
the original breaker of the bro code.
The thing Barnabas Stinson wrote.
That's right, his ancestors.
I need to ask you guys, okay? Do you think Ted was right in being mad at Barney for that?
I think he was right in it bothering him. I don't think he was right in the way that he tried to completely end their friendship over it.
I think Barney definitely deserved the punch in the groin.
Yes.
Who punches somebody in the groin?
I think in a situation like that, there's no wrong way to feel about it.
No,
frankly.
there's not. It's an opinion thing.
Yeah.
Because at that point, Ted was happy and in the process of trying to get married to Stella.
There's where you're right. It shouldn't have bothered him because Barney's allowed to be happy too.
And even more so, he should have been equally as mad at Robin, but he didn't even give a shit
that
about
part I'll agree with. Yeah, he took it all out on Barney.
He didn't blame her at all, and that was wrong because she was just as much to do with it. And really, if you think about it, from Ted's perspective, Barney slept with her, yes, but he still loved Robin a little bit. So that means Robin doesn't love him anymore. So that hurts twice as bad. So really, he should have been more mad at Robin because she proved that she doesn't care about him much anymore.
And if I'm not mistaken, doesn't Barney call Ted? Ted's not really paying attention, but Barney's like, "Yeah, you're over Robin, right? So you wouldn't have a problem if, say, hypothetically, she hooked up with someone like me."
That was before Ted and Robin ever dated. That was in season 1.
Oh, that was the season 1
Ted
thing.
was with Victoria at that time. When
Okay, yeah.
That's true. It was before they had
That's where they play Battleship.
That's the episode where Barney and Robin are hanging out, and he tells her that she's a better bro than Ted.
Yeah, that's when they go to the Scotch bar. Okay, that was a different moment. Yeah.
As far as like the whole thing goes, like even Ted says when Robin says, "Why aren't you mad at me?" He's like, "I'm not mad at anybody. I just outgrew Barney." And I'm like, that's such a bullshit answer.
It is. Yeah.
It is. On the other hand, I have friends that I've outgrown, so I get that. I have friends that never really matured, and I kind of just cut them out.
Yeah, but you could tell Ted's thing was he was mad.
He was just upset. Yeah,
he was friends with Barney. He didn't like outgrow him in any other way other than what happened at that moment.
He didn't outgrow him at all. He was just mad.
Him and Marshall sometimes
something hurtful on purpose.
Yeah, him and Marshall sometimes like accuse Barney like where they joke around like, "Why are we friends with you?" and stuff. But yeah.
Ted is what we like to call a whiny little bitch. So if things don't go his way, he automatically turns on that situation.
Yeah, like Mike.
Wow. Ted's a good
unnecessary cut at Mike.
I honestly, if Ted wouldn't have cut Barney out like that, though, we would have never got those awesome scenes with Abby.
That's true. That's
Britney Spears' character.
That's true. He's so stupid and awesome. I love you, Ted. Yeah. Oh my God. One of my a moment that always makes me laugh. This is like a 2 thing. It's when they start all going to the gym. And like Ted's never working out. Damn, forgot my phone charger. Like he always like has an excuse. But I love when first of all, I love when Robin's there and she doesn't have any makeup on, and Ted's like, I hope you don't get jealous later, but our friend Robin's coming. She's really hot. and then Barney walks up to her. What's up, dude?
Which is a joke in Friends.
What's up, dude?
When Ross writes on Rachel's face, Joey walks up and says, "Who's your friend? He's hot." He draws a mustache on Rachel.
Yeah, but Ted and Barney never call her hot. They say she's not attractive. Like
it's just the opposite, saying he's hot. It's just a more 90s way to approach it, honestly. Because in the 90s, it was okay to kind of make jokes like that.
I see what you're saying, but that one feels like a reach to me.
I'm not. No, you guys are defending this like I'm saying it's a copy. I'm just saying it happened in both shows.
There's 100 things they took.
Corey's stretching, moving on.
That was not supposed to be one of my. Dude, I have a list of 45 fucking similarities. I don't need that one.
No, but
throw it out.
But what I really love about that is that episode is. Oh yeah, when Marshall's talking about the girl that's training him, and he's like, she made me do 70 sit-ups, then only gave me credit for 10. Then she made me do 50 crunches, and then she hurt me using only her words.
Fucking Lily's trainer's like, yeah, he's really stretching me out. Where does your trainer do?
Oh yeah, I love when Marshall keeps seeing her in different positions, and at the last one, he's like, okay, that's not cool. No, but a moment in that episode I have to give Lily is when she calls Marshall's trainer like to give her a piece of her mind. She's like, "That's right, bitch. It's my husband, so you better stop talking like that." She hangs up. She's like, "Oh, baby, you better get down there." She's really pissed.
So you got me out of it?
Drill sergeant.
You better get down there. She sounds really angry.
Like she just got him in so much more trouble.
I fucking love that.
That gym episode's pretty good.
It is, and that I love. Like they're talking about, like we could just quit drinking.
There's an episode of Friends where they try to quit the gym.
Oh, there is
an episode of Friends where they try to quit the gym, but yet
we signed up for a joint bank account. Or what they say?
They don't go in depth with it, like How I Met Your Mother does.
Like showing them actually at the
I mean,
gym
the whole episode is about that, and you see Ross working out on that machine.
Actually,
you don't want to leave your friend Ross without a partner, do you? And he opens the blinds, and Ross is...
Oh my God, that is so funny. I forgot about that.
That's actually a great parallel to what I was talking about earlier about how I Met Your Mother kind of exaggerates those realistic things, where Friends kind of handles it more like you would in life. Like when you have friends that like talk, like they have like the fucking fitness 19 thing on their keychain shit, but they never go.
Yeah,
they just keep paying for it. For it. But they talk about quitting it all the time, but they never fucking cancel it. Because what if they go that one time?
I was gonna say some professions. Obviously, the whole Ted and I almost said Ron. Isn't that Ross's evil twin?
No, that's
Ron.
What's his name?
That was Russ.
Russ.
Oh yeah, Russ.
Hi. You don't see the similarity? I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what she sees in that doofus, and it takes him like an hour to finish a sentence. That's annoying, isn't it? Yeah.
Ross, yeah. Oh God, I love that.
Oh man.
Yeah,
So
no,
beautiful.
no, but as far as How I Met Your Mother goes, I think you guys are like, to me, Friends, like going on a basic blanket statement. To me, Friends is more consistently funny. How I Met Your Mother, I watch more for like a story through line, and it's more heartfelt to me.
Yes, you're 100% right.
I laugh a shit ton on How I Met Your Mother, but what really gets that show for me is the heartfelt moments.
And the unbelievable amount of beautiful quotes that came out of that show. The writers were awesome.
There's so many beautiful moments, but like my favorite moment, that it's not even a moment, it's just an episode, is the fucking pineapple episode. That gag.
The pineapple incident.
Yeah, like the fucking gag is so good.
There's a DVD that came with the box set where they explain the pineapple. I still haven't watched it.
Oh my God, I don't know.
I don't want to watch it because
that's why I haven't watched it.
It
I'm
might
not sure
ruin the
if I wanna
magic.
know.
Oh, do you guys
It's
want
just
me
such a good gag.
Do you guys want me to spoil it? Because it's not that great.
Damn it, the pineapple Trudy.
Oh,
Damn it, Trudy.
I don't care, but I don't know. If
Fuck
they
it,
care.
tell me. Let's hear it. Fun fact, anti-fun fact alert.
Anti-fun fact.
No, they just show one night Ted was drunk out with friends and stuff, and he literally, before he knew the captain, he stole a pineapple off the captain's porch. So they had a little meetup without knowing it, like years before.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Damn it, Trudy.
That's kind of funny. It's just like, man, the pineapple incident. That
Am I the
episode
only
is-
one that's curious about the pineapple? All right.
Exactly. Like
Marshall's
every
like,
time he,
Damn it, Trudy.
I love
Oh.
if lost, please call Marshall. Dude, call it.
Yeah. I would definitely call it.
I feel like the pineapple incident is incidentally where the show like started finding its footing. That's still like one of the highest rated episodes of the entire series.
I think it's the best episode personally.
Yeah, it's so fucking
We
good.
love you, drunk
Yeah,
Ted.
fucking because that's like the scene where Ted gets fucking drunk.
He rallies.
I love when Ted says to Carl, he's like, Marshall thinks you're a vampire.
When he's up there singing fucking Cheap Trick.
How exciting is it to be like when you see your friend who you think's down for the count come back and re-rally like that, and Barney like he played that, like Neil Patrick Harris was so genuinely excited, like you are.
Oh yeah,
in that situation.
Absolutely. Like, and then when I love when like he fell asleep in the bathtub, and they're like, "Have you been in here all night?" Lily's like, "Were you in here when I went to pee this morning?" Barney's like, "Don't worry, I didn't see anything." No, I totally did.
Barney witnessed her pee before Marshall ever did.
Did you know karaoke means empty orchestra? Isn't that hauntingly beautiful?
It's like Carl just says to him, like, if he pukes, you guys are cleaning it up.
I love when he calls, when Robin calls, she goes, "It's Robin." He goes, "Are you sure?"
Are you sure?
He's like,
you could be one. You should be on 60 Minutes. You could be one of the minutes. Yeah, you told me that last night. I did.
Or when he's like,
her face when he's singing, she's like, she can't believe it. She's on the phone like, what the hell's going
he's like,
on?
I'm gonna call Robin again. And Carl's like, well, this will be good.
We're totally meant for each other. You can't deny it. Carl's like, excuse me? He's like, Robin. He's like, oh.
He did look at him like, dude, this might be the end for your bar going.
Excuse me? That son of a bitch wanted to skip out on the Super Bowl. I told him to never come back to my bar again. Can you believe that? I love when they're like looking at the looking inside the casket. They're like, oh.
Was it Mark?
I mean, yeah, Mark. And then they catch each other and they're like, oh.
I fucking love when dude lets them run the bar for the night. He's like, you guys are here all the time. That would never happen.
Like, just lock up when you're done.
No.
What did he say? He's like, you guys don't know anything about running a bar, and you're like, always serve the hotties first. He's like, all right, here's the keys.
Lock up when you're done. Yeah, and then every time, they do that classic go back to that joke, and then your Uncle Barney and I had one of those mental conversations. And every time it's Barney, it's just like, Aruba, Jamaica. Get some Beach Boys in there.
Like all you have to do is like, we should do something, and Barney's always down. So
Oh, absolutely. Tonight will be the night that we. If every night is legendary, then no night is legendary.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, I love like Ted's like, nope, dude, I have a frozen lasagna and I have a season of Sanford and Son. Barney's like, okay, that does sound pretty sick, but no. But to go back to the pineapple incident, one thing I do love about How I Met Your Mother is how they play with the timeline so well. Like they always have these moments where it's revealed later on what actually happened.
Yeah, they do that. Good.
You see Ted calling Trudy, and the whole time you think he's calling Robin.
Yeah,
they kind of do like a micro Breaking Bad thing, where Breaking Bad like does that throughout an entire season, and they just do that sometimes throughout an episode for like short storylines.
I have to give How I Met Your Mother credit in that regard. I think they like pay everything off that they introduce, and sometimes it's years down the road.
They even did this stupid thing that ended up being one of the best parts, which was him talking about the goat that whole episode and then being like, wait, that was my next birthday. I'll get to that. And then it's a whole season later before he tells that story.
They had that planned for like years ahead.
That was great.
Think about Slap Bet. It eventually led to a fucking the board game that her dad
just
made.
got slapped.
Ted messes up a story about Barney and Lily fighting, and he completely forgets that she's pregnant during that time, and that's like a whole season later.
Oh yeah, you don't call a woman fat to her face. Yeah, you think at first he thinks it's Barney being all emotional.
He's like, wait, none of this can be right.
And it's the first time he says, it was 20 years ago. You got to give me some credit. Like he remembered every other detail, but that's the one he forgot. And how many times did Ted tell his kids about fucking some random girl?
Oh yeah,
he's a horrible father.
He does say that though. He kind of, at some point is like, wait, am I a bad father?
Yeah. But then he just keeps going.
He just keeps going.
When you question it, you're like parenting, but you just keep rolling on anyway.
Well, emotional damage. Move on.
I kept the story short and to the point, and you still missed the message.
We've all kind of pretty much given our opinions without. I mean, Doug was pretty solid about his.
Corey as well.
About which one is our favorite.
We're not pansies.
I mean,
don't make me
just kind of because you guys already gave your opinion. Just real quick, why is Friends your favorite between the two?
You want to go first, Corey?
Laughs per minute. That's simply it. Honestly, there's more laughs in Friends. Between the two shows, I can put Friends on from season 1 to season 10 in the background, watch it, laugh. How I Met Your Mother, I can't do that. I can watch a few episodes and then I got to go to something else and then I can go back. I can't binge. I don't know. I've never been able to binge How I Met Your Mother. It gets too serious sometimes and I want to laugh. Friends, I can just put it on and I never stop laughing, really. That's simply it for me.
See, for me, I can binge them both, but with Friends, I just relate to it so much more. Like when I talk about like the situations being like realistic, like I've been in so many of the situations, like the
True.
Right on in the early episodes, like the Ross and Rachel and the laundromat thing. I've literally had that experience. Like,
yep, done it myself.
To me, the relatability is just what sets it apart. Like, I love How I Met Your Mother, and I love the ridiculous storylines and stuff. But to me, that's what they are. They're ridiculous. I'll never be in these situations, but I love watching it. I can't see myself ever experiencing half the shit that happens in that show.
That's true.
Though it does have some moments that you can, but...
Really funny thing, earlier we were in the kitchen cooking, and Katie said, so is there like an even 2-2 split on this, or are you guys going to have to argue? And is there going to be a winner? I said, well, me and Doug are going to pick Friends, Mike's going to pick How I Met Your Mother, and Adrian's going to be on the fence. And that's exactly what's happening.
I am
Come on, Mac, get off the fence.
I'm more on the fence.
That's Dennis.
That was Dennis.
Dennis, shit, my bad. I'm literally on the fence.
This is what I think episode 11 I don't know what order they're coming out. Actually, Spider-Man's going to come out next. Well, let's just say this is like, we've recorded just say like 15 episodes, and this is the most on the fence I've been about any subject.
Yeah.
I'm not as far over the fence on Friends as Doug is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm literally standing in the Friends yard, touching the fence, looking over at How I Met Your Mother. I'm close.
Sitting on the couch in the house watching Friends on TV.
He's across the street, through the yard, into the house.
He's
neighbor.
fucking just throwing firebombs over the fence. Like, fuck you, How I Met Your Mother.
Corey's on one side of the fence, and Barney's looking over like, "What up?"
And I'm gently touching his hand with my hand.
He's like, would you like
Barney.
to suit up with me?
I would.
Just one
Red
time
Rover,
when I
Red
say suit up,
Rover,
I wish
send
you...
Barney right.
Now, here's my hypocrisy in full effect. Neil Patrick Harris himself walks up to me and says, "Which show do you like more?" I'm going to hug him and say, "Of course it's How I Met Your Mother."
See, I would hug him and say, "Of course, it's Friends."
Adrian, you gotta try to pick one. You gotta try to pick one.
Oh, this fucking sucks, doesn't
What is
it?
your instinct telling you?
Talk it out. Talk it out. Yeah.
So here's the thing.
Adrian, you have 8 minutes to choose.
Here's the thing. We need to do like a 2-parter on this episode. There's so much more I want to talk about.
Can we do that? Because I seriously will do a second part of this.
Yeah, I feel like we've scratched the surface. Yeah, I like what we've gotten, but oh god, there's so much more we could do.
But let's focus on just finishing.
Okay,
this
so
one up.
real quick, let me give you some thoughts that I wrote down here. And this is where these shows are obviously, it's so easy to compare them because they are very similar. One borrows a lot from the other. Friends stole a bunch from How I Met Your Mother.
Clearly.
They had a time machine.
If time was circular and it was for some reason running backwards, sure.
They went to the How I Met Your Mother episode, The Time Traveler, and they learned out how to travel time.
No, Adrian, Back to the Future is just a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, Friends. Here's what I have for the Friends category.
Wait. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but are you suggesting that if people went back in time to create Friends because of How I Met Your Mother, that How I Met Your Mother would still exist exactly as it is?
You just asked me too many things.
You know what? We don't have enough time for this.
Adrian is not Rick Sanchez. He is not a Doctor Who. He does not.
I don't get either of those references. No, I know who they are. Yeah, so
Marty.
no, I know what you're saying, but we don't have time to delve into all that.
I know. I had to ask.
We're going.
Anyway.
We're doing some butterfly effect shit. So Friends. Here's what I have for the Friends category. I'll be quick here. Friends is, to me, it's more consistently funny than How I Met Your Mother. It was more of a revolutionary show. Every sitcom in the last 25, 30 years has borrowed some inspiration from Friends. So for that, it was revolutionary. It has the originality that a lot of other shows don't. The ending, way fucking better. No question.
No
1,000
question
times.
whatsoever there. Yeah, we haven't even talked about the ending.
Yeah, right. It has Chandler.
We did. We talked about the ending.
The
The one we needed to talk about, at least.
To anybody listening, don't edit this out, Doug. There will be a part 2 sometime in the future. There has to be.
You'll get more. We love these shows way too
We
much.
revisit them,
we
yeah.
haven't even touched on How I Met Your Mother's emotional moments, and that's a fucking tragedy.
That's true.
Okay, so where was I? The ending. It has Chandler. It has a stronger lead cast overall. The 6 of them just work together so fucking great. I love the How I Met Your Mother cast, but there's something about the 6 of those people that was just magic. So, and then last, the humor is a little less gimmicky than How I Met Your Mother. We've talked about How I Met Your Mother. There are some jokes that are a little over the top. I feel like Friends is a more consistent experience, like this with this solid group of writers. I feel like How I Met Your Mother, sometimes they went down different avenues and they swung for the fence. Sometimes they struck out. Other times they hit a home run.
They had way more profound writers on their cast.
Yeah, and it kind of went from like toilet humor to this really profound joke to this really juvenile joke to this really like dark joke. It's like, I don't know where your tone is here. And a lot of times these were in the same episode. So that's everything I have for Friends.
Hey, Adrian, real quick. You're doing this thing with your hands. I feel like I've seen that somewhere before. Where could somebody see you do unnecessary hand movements?
Do you want me to do my plug mid breakdown? Because I'll do a shameless plug. No,
I'm just setting you up for one. That's up to you.
Okay. No, I'll do my plug at the end. I'm on a roll now. That's why I'm talking like Sean Evans on Hot Ones here. Okay, so for How I Met Your Mother, what they did better, in my opinion, better premise and narrative. I think How I Met Your Mother, it's the reason that, like Corey said, I agree with this point. I can put Friends on in the background anytime. When I watch How I Met Your Mother, I'm more invested personally because
exactly why I have to go away from it at some point because I just focus on it.
I can binge it more, but I am more invested when I watch it. I'm paying attention to How I Met Your Mother. Friends I have on the background. I've seen the episodes a million times. I'm still laughing. But How I Met Your Mother, I'm more invested.
I agree with that.
Where Friends, you can put on season 5, episode 12 and be like, oh yeah, I love this one.
Exactly.
Dramatic moments, I think we all agree probably they hit a lot harder in How I Met Your Mother.
So much harder. There are a few in Friends that make you feel the feels.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
How I Met Your Mother can literally break you down in tears.
Yeah, I cry like a little bitch when I watch How I Met Your Mother. To me, How I Met Your Mother, a lot of the supporting characters are more fleshed out. Like you get a lot of stories with these, with these girls that Ted dates. All 3 minutes. Okay. Yeah. So I don't need to go into detail about that. I just think the side characters are more fleshed out as opposed to a Gunther or a Janice who's very one note. I'm obsessed with Chandler. I'm obsessed with Rachel. I get it. The music and How I Met Your Mother fucking slaps. Not only the songs they create in universe, Marshall versus the Machines, You Just Got Slapped, all that kind of shit. Nothing Suits Me Like a Suit. Of course, Robin Sparkles. But just outside of that, the Proclaimers, Death Cab for Cutie, REM, Bon Jovi, Cheap Trick, Elvis, such a great fucking soundtrack.
It's a lot like Scrubs in that way.
Friends had that one U2 song.
They did. I'll wait
my
for
God.
you there.
Stop it.
That was a great moment.
And the theme song by the Rembrandts.
How I Met Your Mother, like I've already touched on, a better balance of comedy and drama. Friends, to me, is more laugh per minute. How I Met Your Mother is a better blend of the two. It can have you laughing your ass off, then hit you with a gut punch.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we talked about this as well. Another reason we need to do a part 2, Ted's fucking quotes. He teaches you life lessons, which also reminds me of Scrubs, which I love. Like there's so much wisdom in Bob Saget's narratives, or just younger Ted, just teaches you so many life lessons. And for that, I don't really get that from Friends. It's just a group of friends hanging out. So at the end of the day,
And that's all the time we have. Sorry, Adrian.
Thank you.
Real quick, if you would like to plug your
Yeah, so if you want to see me go on more fucking psychotic rants like this, you can check me out at Baker Reviews. I just did a Scream 2022 review, working on a few other things, so check that out, YouTube, Baker Reviews.
And if you're into video games, make sure you check out my Twitch channel at Mykin's Nostalgia. That's Mykin, like the word Lycan for I'm a hairy bastard. I stream every Saturday between 6 and 8 Eastern time. That's 3 to 5 Pacific. Come watch as I play older games and get that nostalgia.
Wait.
That'll do it for all of us here.
I'm sorry, did you say specific time?
What?
You're. I think Corey has something.
And
to
if
say.
you want to follow us on all the social medias, on Facebook, you can just look up Culture Shocked. We're right on there. On Instagram, we're Culture Shock 21, and on Twitter, we are CS Podcast 21. Come follow us.
That will do it for all of us here at Culture Shocked. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. Hopefully you'll join us again when we talk about Friends and How I Met Your Mother. It's going to be legend. Wait for it.